All right. Taking us into the 21st century. And oh, no, I didn't know I did. The only thing that this ring light has taught me is them OnlyFans people be making their money. Because if they got to stare at that the whole time they're doing things, that I should get on OnlyFans. If there was like a big market for like out of shape dudes that breathe heavy when they put their socks on, $3.99 monthly subscription. Watch me cry myself to sleep while I stare at pictures of me from college when I was in shape. On to actual car stuff. So no more talk about me breathing heavy. The Malibu project is still in full swing. Obviously, it's only been like a few days since I put a video up, so I haven't sold the car. That's good news. I want to run through the current state of the car, kind of recap what's been going on, and then I want to jump into an unboxing of some badass parts from a company called Go Fast Bits. But to start it back just a second here, let's go over the state of the car, what I've done since I hung the camera up a few days ago, and kind of where we're at and where we're going. So I have a roller right here, and I have a block over here. If you haven't watched the last video, the short block's out of the car. It's torn down to just a crank. Rods and pistons are out of it. New rods and pistons are on the way. The crank is not what I was told it had. The rods were not what I was told it had. The transmission is not what I was told it had. And it's whatever, I don't care. So there's a lot of people in the comments saying, you know, whatever, go after the guy, blah, blah, blah. Here's the deal, I don't care. Now, to tell you why I don't care about any of that stuff, I genuinely don't think that the seller of this car misled me or lied to me. I think that the dude that built the engine for him, I think he lied and he's full of shit. And that's a word I shouldn't say on YouTube because we'll get demonetized. But again, I just don't think, I think he is the one at fault and he's not gonna own up to it. I'll never see this dude face to face. I'll never meet him. I'll never get any money back. I'll never get any engine parts back. So what do? You just keep going forward. I bought this car under the assumption that front to back wasn't what I was told it is, because that's how I have to go into all these used race car purchases. Like, come on, man. You know, it is what it is. God willing, if I sell somebody a car that I built or put together, they don't find something that I didn't intentionally do and want to rake me over the coals. So at any rate, I don't care. Moving on and moving up. Who cares? That's life. Deal with it. I said in a post, if you want a hobby with guarantees, go fly a kite in a hurricane, and I guarantee you'll have a great time. Anyway, this is how the car sits right now. A couple things that I touched on in, again, the other videos, but just now that it's all kind of pulled apart, you can see the steering, like basically the steering shaft comes through the firewall right there. I have to assume that most of this cutting is not factory, so that's cool. Brake master cylinder is pulled now too. This is the brake master, it's a Wilwood piece. Cool, just a 2-bolt flange. The material that they had on the firewall was really just janky. Same deal there. They just made this patch panel and self-tapped it into place. All that stuff has got to get fixed, but we're basically down to a complete bare roller with a nice Powerade too. It's just sick. That's factory. Go put that by my other Powerade. That was not a plug for Powerade. It did sound like it though. Interior stripped out. Everything's good to go. We got a Pro Mod bell housing cover. So I didn't know that this was all cut out. That sucks. That was another pain point that I had with the seller. Like, hey dude, I didn't know that, man, I don't want to say Ray Charles or Stevie Wonder because I respect those guys, but they don't have the use of their site. And I assume that whoever did this also did not have the use of their site. So I got to make that cleaner, make that nice. And there's a dog, maybe a Shetland pony that was hanging out back here. Got a bunch of fur up in the equation. So, but anyway, the interior is all stripped. It's a nice clean base to start from. These door panels suck. If you look, like, again, look at the cut job. Like, what were we doing there? What was the point there? I don't know. I don't care. I'll fix it though. And all this stuff. Look at those calves, dude. Look at those things just flexing, bro. Sick. Aside from my calves, again, another look on the other side of the chassis just to give you a full 360 experience here. The interior is clean. I mean, it's as far as like what's under the carpet, who knows? There's a bunch of glue and stuff down, but as far as rust and corrosion and all that junk goes, underneath the car is fine. Like, it's in good shape. The seat belts were expired. only by a few years. They were certed in 2009, so they just missed cert. So that sucks. And also like the carbon fiber tube covers. I did a video on this, like one of the first videos I did with chassis stuff, because I'm not good. But everybody I know glues these down, and these are screwed down for some reason, and I don't know why. But I don't like putting a bunch of holes in roll cage bars. I'm sure structurally it's fine, but still. And then to the trunk area, fuel cell, that's not a big deal. That's gonna work just fine. Battery box I'm gonna be changing out. Shout out Race Part Solutions, some fuel rail stuff. GFB goes fast bits, go fast bits. Probably can't really see the sticker, but go fast bits. I'm gonna get into both of those companies in just a second. Also, hold on, I gotta show you guys this. Okay, so this is the main battery cable, okay? Runs all the way up to, it came through the firewall right here. It's underneath the carpet's glued down on top of it, and it runs all the way back through the panel there, and then down the roll cage in this really terrible corrugated wire, zip tied, couldn't cut the zip ties off, and it lands right here. So, don't do this stuff, man. Don't do this shit. Like, don't do this. Just put a power post right here and put this to the power post and then this to the power post and call it a day. Like, come on, man. That's it. That's all I got on that. But I know I have done some haggard stuff, and this, yeah, it works. It's not stupid if it works. But a power post, hold on. 1 second. Let me see if I can quick draw McGraw this. It's like $6, dude. Also, I should update that. It's been way more than a day. I will say I am ultra blessed that nobody has bought a car that I built like 6 to 7 years ago and done a YouTube video on like things that suck about it, because yeah, I am not talented at all. I feel bad for anyone that buys a car from me, especially the RX-7. That was stupid, whoever bought that thing. Please don't hurt me, Jake. I was just kidding, man. All right, let's get this. Ignore the stupid ring light, dude. It's so dumb. It's all I can stare at is the stupid ring light. But go fast bits. I can't do this with this. I can't do it with a ring light. So stupid. Why are ring lights so popular, dude? They're so dumb. I'm just gonna keep it old school. I'm sorry. I'm gonna hold the camera with one hand. I'm gonna open this stuff with the other hand. Go fast bits. Again, I got into this stuff a little bit in the last video, but I wanted to do more of a segment on how awesome they are and how kick-ass their product line is. And just in general, they're good people, and I like highlighting good people. So I'm going to be running their Wastegates and their blow-off valve, actually 2 of these blow-off valves on my rig. Now, the SV52 blow-off valve really sparked my interest. It's 52 millimeter blow-off valve. If that sounds familiar, a lot of the guys, like, there's other brands that are 50 millimeter. It's kind of a standard 52, 50, whatever. They're around the same size. This blow-off valve flows more than any blow-off valve on the market in the same similar size, and it is more compact than any blow-off valve in the market, same similar size, which is killer. Not that I have a good amount of real estate, but you run out of space way quicker than you think. So let me crack this thing open. We can take a look. All right, so depackaged. It comes in a foam sleeve. I've already popped this thing out just to show you. You don't get a good idea of size from this angle. Now, if you have a tile or whatever, I don't mean to name drop. I'm not crapping on any other brands, but like ProCharger has a huge race valve as well. This unit, from a size standpoint, is so much smaller. So if you're trying to incorporate this into a tidy engine bay, this is the setup to have. I mean, it literally takes up a third less of the space than other leading brands. So at the same time, it flows more and it takes up less space. It's a win-win all the way around. Plus, I mean, I'm a sucker for badass engraving and laser etching, and that's just dope looking. It's sick. I mean, it just looks awesome. Anyway, that's enough gushing about the blow-off valve. Let's get to the Wastegates, because that's going to be a fun one. All right, so this is more of a experiment than it is a let's rock and roll. The way this conversation came about for boost control, again, I work with people that I like. I like to work with people that have similar mindsets and we just jive. And the people at Go Fast Bits, Victoria and Will, they're kind of the core of who onboarded me. And Brett in tech is just a genius. And I like to work with people that are cool to work with. And that's where I came up with using Go Fast Bits, their wastegates specifically. Now, I'll tell you why this is a little out there. In the United States, Go Fast Bits doesn't have the type of presence that some of the other companies do. They have a massive presence in sport compact. They make direct install blow-off valves for everything from EcoBoost to Subarus to Toyota. I mean, everything. They have so many plug and play boost control options for factory vehicles, and that's huge in the States for them. They do tons of that stuff. But I personally haven't seen a ton of high horsepower drag race applications running the GFB brand. And a lot of the times people shy away from brands for reasons like that. Like, well, they're not on so-and-so's car, why do I run it? They're not on so-and-so's car, why do I run it? Here's the thing. At the end of the day, the engineering that goes into creating an exact replica part for an aftermarket use on a factory car, let's use a Raptor, for example. They make a blow-off valve kit for a Raptor, and they make it as a plug-and-play install that every Tom, Dick, and Jane can do themselves in their garage. The amount of effort it takes to put that together versus putting together one giant wastegate that's sole purpose is to evacuate as much exhaust pressure as possible pales in comparison, in my opinion only, just an opinion. So when it comes to working with a brand, I got people that are dope, they make everything in-house, they design everything in-house, and they are willing to work with me. No one wants to work with me, dude. So them being like, hey, we'll work with you all day, let's do it. It's just dope people making dope products. We're gonna see what we can do with it. So as these things ship, one thing to note is, I'll pull this out, they have their V-band clamps already assembled with weld-on flanges, but there's no nut on the backside. It's just a pass-through that is threaded. So disassembly is a breeze. I wanna pull this off, but I just wanna highlight something. Compact is one of the things that Go Fast Bits is super stoked about in their product line, being one of the most, if not the most compact wastegate in the market, next to their competitors, and also flowing as much, if not more, than their competitors. And I will show you a good scenario, or I guess comparison rather, that highlights that. This is a 50 millimeter wastegate. For reference, I ran a single 60 millimeter wastegate on my RX-7 with the 2JZ making 45 pounds of boost. So again, I'm gonna run two 50 millimeter gates on this car. This is a competitor brand 38 millimeter. This is a Tile 38 millimeter. From a size standpoint, you can see it. There's no tricks, there's no games here. The reason I'm holding it up is because the flange is V-banded to the bottom of this. That's not a fair comparison. But if I set it next to it, okay, imagine, that's why I'm gonna take the flange. I'm taking it off, hold on. Okay, now we have a fair comparison. No BS, no smoke and mirrors. Top view. Okay, it's pretty clear. If anything, I feel like this unit might be a little bit bigger. I guess I could mic it. My dogs are barking upstairs if you hear them. Okay, so top view. And then you can see the EX50 is a touch taller, right? That's fair to say. This is also a 50 millimeter gate versus a 38 millimeter gate. Some people that doesn't matter. Some people you don't care. But if you're looking for a gate that fits in tidy spaces, if you don't have a lot of room to work, if you want something guaranteed front to back, you can't beat a lifetime warranty on a wastegate with people that stand behind it. I'm just saying, you hit them up, they respond. You have a problem, they respond. It's awesome to work with people like that. So I chose Go Fast Bits for that reason. I'm stoked that they wanted to work with me on this project. This may sound like a giant plug for them, but it's just because I believe in their brand. So rock and roll, and we'll see you, I don't know, whenever I get parts for this thing. It's just...
Hey Logan, it's Rye. Just calling you to tell you that, you're the fastest guy ever. I'm slow, and I suck, and I'm never gonna have a car that's as cool as anything that you have. And yeah, dude, just again, it's Rye. Just call and say, you rock, I suck.